Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I am New York vocalist here at Socrates Sculpture Park, a beautiful park of lovely sculptures in beautiful Queens, New York. New location for me. You know, normally I'm in New York City, Manhattan. So this is the first time I'm out of the borough of Manhattan and I'm in Queens, lovely Queens, Astoria, Queens. So we will be, oh hi, hello Margaret, how are you? Tom, thanks so much for joining. I'm in a new location today. I'm really excited. Normally I'm in Manhattan. So I'm going to be, that's something we're going to do with Singing Tips. We're going to be going to other places. So I have some wonderful contributors here who, they're not going to go on camera, but she's waving. Paul and Martha LaPierre were kind enough to help me find a new location for Singing Tips in Astoria, Queens. And it's a lovely park. Maybe I'll show you guys around after the show. But yeah, so that's something I would like to do, is show you guys some different parts of New York City other than Manhattan, because that's kind of basically where I'm based and where we've been doing the Singing Tips. So I'm excited to be at another place, and it's a lovely park and a wonderful day for it. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday, a wonderful weekend. Oh, I got a thumbs up, so good. You're enjoying your weekend. So we're back for Singing Tips. If you guys don't know, my name is Benita Charles. Every week I give singing tips to beginner singers to help them become professional. We've covered everything from your talent, live performance, original music, and we just wrapped up the image section. Last week I did a recap of all of the tips that we had for your image. If you don't know, your image consists of your appearance, your communication, and your behavior. So we had tips on all of those different segments of your image. And this week I wanted to do a recap of the experts that we had for the image section. We have a show called Ask the Expert, and I bring in people who are a lot more knowledgeable than I am for certain areas. So we had Roxie Segal, stylist extraordinaire. She talked about all things style. We had, for that particular show, I had a business sponsor, Nadine Dylan of D-Nash Jewelry. She donated some jewelry for me on the show to wear. I brought the pieces today. We had Ed Preacherman Holly. He was a guest contributor for time management. We had the lovely Miss Carolyn Jones. She had a show on self-care for artists, and I had a lady who, she did my makeup for one of the shows. I had a makeover at Blue Mercury Cosmetics in New York City. Her name was Jennifer Byers, and she was a representative of Bobbi Brown Cosmetics, and she did a makeover for me for that particular show. That was tip number 36, your behavior. So I wanted to just do a recap of all of those guest artists that we had, or guest experts that we had for the image section, because they gave some very valuable tips, and I wanted to just acknowledge them. So I have my notes here. So let's start with Roxie Segal. Her episode aired on March 4th, 2017, this year. And so she is a stylist. She is a stylist, hair artist extraordinaire. And her segment was about style, and it was dealing with the appearance. So we were talking about within the appearance. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background about Roxie. So Roxie has a love for all things beauty related. She is a licensed cosmetologist working as a freelance hairstylist in New York City. She also was, or is, the stylist behind my CD, Moments in Love. So you've seen this for years. You've seen this CD cover for years. Roxie is the stylist behind my look, and I get so many compliments from this picture, but Roxie did my hair, she did my makeup, she did my clothing, we went out, we went shopping. So Roxie really made me look glamorous, and I really appreciate that, because I still get a lot of compliments from my CD. Roxie is the go-to girlfriend to consult with for self-care regimens to on-trend looks for hair, beauty, and style. Now, her contact information on Instagram is Hair by Roxie. That's Hair by Roxie. That's her business. She has a personal Instagram account, Love Roxie, and she has an email, rssstylist@gmail.com. So that's capital R, capital S, and then the word stylist@gmail.com. So I wanted to just do a few little tips that Roxie shared with us. So Roxie was talking about style. And one of the things she said that I really liked was she said, in finding your own style, start with your everyday life. And, you know, think about what's most comfortable for you. Be bold and confident. Step out of your comfort zone and try new things. She also said to shop often. Try to catch discounts and shop out of season. And she said stay on trend but don't overdo. So you know how sometimes there's things that they're in style but they come and go, they're trendy. So she was saying she suggests to make small changes to your wardrobe, like maybe change the nail, get an on-trend nail color, or maybe find an accessory. But you don't want to overdo it, because then you end up with a lot of pieces that are out of style and you're not going to wear. So that was her tips, and I thought she did an excellent job. So that aired on March 4th, 2017. Now you can find all of the tips and all of the on my blog on Instagram. So go to BCM Sings, click on the bio, it takes you to the blog, so you'll be able to see this show, you'll be able to see all the other tips. But I wanted to just highlight my experts, because first of all, I appreciate them coming on, sharing their knowledge, their talents with the audience, and we got some really great value. So that was Roxie Segal, and then so that same episode was episode of Style, and we had a guest business extraordinaire jewelry maker, Nadine Dylan of DNAS Jewelry, and she made these beautiful pieces. Now let's see if I can. Oh, okay. If you can hold the camera for me, darling. Thank you. So this is a beautiful piece she made.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And then she has earrings to match. And that's Nadine Dylan of DNAS Jewelry. So she made these for this. And this was on the Style episode that aired on March 4th, 2017. And her website is, I had it. Sorry. I know it's DNAS Jewelry, but I just want to make sure I get the, okay. So it's DNAS Jewelry, DNADZ Jewelry.com. And Nadine Dylan made this beautiful, I'm getting all twisted here, beautiful pieces for me. And this was for Style. This was for the Style episode with Roxie Segal. So I want to thank those ladies so much for, thank you, dear, for gracing us with their presence, and you know, with all the wonderful things that they contribute. So that was our first two experts. So the next show was Preacherman. Oh, thank you.
Is that good?
Oh yeah, that's good, but I don't want you to have to hell with that.
It's okay.
So our next contributor was for time management, and that was tip number 37. And our guest contributor was Ed Preacherman Holly. Now you know I post all of the pictures because I'm one of his background singers in his band, Preacherman and the Revival. It's a wonderful soul, atomic soul band. We do all types of music, but it's music that touches the heart. And one thing about Preacherman, he is one of the most timely, punctual people I met. So I wanted him because that's really not my strong suit. So I wanted an expert to come in, and he gave some really great pointers in terms of time management. But just to give you a little bit, let me get a little closer so I can get a little, there you go. Just to give you a little bit background on Preacherman. Preacherman is a recording artist, dynamic live performer, singer, songwriter who performs with his band Preacherman and the Revival throughout the New York City area. For more information, you can visit his Facebook page at preachermanmusic.com or Preacherman Music on Facebook. Just want to mention that he has another show coming up on August 4th at Rubalad. This is going to be a special live recording show with his band, so I will definitely be giving you more information about that, but I wanted to just make sure I mentioned it. But he gave some really great points. So he said that he gives himself time for life, which means he factors in train delays, wardrobe mishaps, traffic, to lead to less stress. He arrives 2 hours in advance to his gigs. This allows him for prep time to handle all aspects of the show, like if things go wrong. And he allows 10 to 15 minutes before he goes on stage to center himself. And his father, who was an athlete and coach, taught him many valuable lessons. But one of the things he used to say to him, and Preacherman says this to me too, do what you gotta do so that you can do what you want to do. And that's a very good motto, because it teaches you self-discipline and time management. And when you get the things that you want to do out of the way, it makes time for you to do all the other things you want to do. So I thought that was a really good pointer. And that was our guest contributor for our time management section, which aired on April 15th of this year. And that was tip number 37, time management. Now, time management was a part of your behavior in the image section. So we talked about, you know, things that affect your, like for instance, if someone books you for a gig, you want to be timely, you want to be on time, you want to be dependable, you want to show up. And so this was all part of your behavior of singing tips. So I thought that was an awesome tip that we had for that expert. Now, our final expert was recently, I don't know if you guys remember, we had, oh hi, I have some people joining. Hello, my cousin Ruby and Thomas. Thanks so much for joining. Right now we're going through a recap of the experts that we had on singing tips for the image section. I know, oh hi, my Aunt Sala, hello, thanks so much for joining. So we're going through the recap of the Ask the Experts of the image section. So last week we broke down all of the tips for image. I might go back over that again because maybe some of you guys missed that. But we had some experts in the image section. So I wanted to just do a recap and just highlight some of the things that they shared with us. So our next guest we had aired recently, June 11th. Her name was Carolyn Jones. And she is the founder and owner of the Cheetah Go Project, self-care. Her title of the show was Self-Care for Artists. She's an author, healthcare consultant, and practitioner. She has a book called Pick Up Your Bed and Walk. Oh, it's backwards, but yeah, this is her book. And so her show was all about holistic care for well, people, but artists as well. And she shared some things that artists can do in terms of their voice, which I thought was so excellent. And I have it on my phone here. So she knew I was struggling with certain things with my voice. So she wanted to give the artist some holistic things, like for instance, echinacea. Echinacea for the beginning signs of a cold. It activates the immune system, fights infections, mobilizes white blood cells. Now, some of these things anyone can use, not just singers. Like I know a lot of you have heard of echinacea. Golden seal to reduce mucous membrane inflammation due to sinusitis, hay fever, and allergies. Osha roots to loosen mucus. Slippery elm soothes sore throats. Wild cherry bark is a good exportorant. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. You know what I mean? It helps
expectorate.
Say it again.
Expectorate.
Expectorate. So I have guest contributors here. They actually, if you're just coming in, I'm actually in a new location. I'm in Queens, New York. It's the Socrates Sculpture Park. So I'm gonna show you guys around after the show. But so normally I do my singing tips in New York City, Manhattan, but I'm gonna be branching out a little. So today is the first day I'm in a new borough of Manhattan. I'm in Queens. So if you any of you guys out there, or if you're in the Bronx, you know some good places, let me know. Maybe we can do some singing tips there. But right now I'm in Queens. Beautiful, beautiful Astoria, Queens. It's a lovely, lovely area of Manhattan, not Manhattan, of New York, in Queens. So licorice root is also good for sore throats and have a mild antihistamine properties. What is that? Astragalus root. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Is the best for preventing colds. It increases production of. It helps to resist viral infections if taken daily before cold season. Olive leaf extract strengthens the immune system. And so Carolyn Jones, she's a holistic practitioner. Her book is a wonderful book because she said that she works with patients, elderly patients who are in convalescent homes, and she wanted to have one source of different herbs and spices and holistic care that they can find. So she created this book, and it's A through Z. So she, for instance, there's A for apple cider vinegar, B, basil leaf powder, and it has an explanation of all these things. And it's A through Z of different holistic care for your health, and it's for anyone, not just singers. But so she gave a rundown of some of the. We got a heart on that. Yeah. So this is available on Amazon. Is Pick Up Your Bed and Walk, and I love the title. I said I love this title, but she said it's a biblical reference. If those of you who know the Bible, Pick Up Your Bed and Walk. But it's a wonderful self-care guide, and she I want to give you. I don't think I told you her background. So she is a healthcare consultant practitioner who educates clients about the importance of holistic self-care, stress elimination, pain management, and alternative healing modalities. She is the author of Pick Up Your Bed and Walk, a self-care guide to improve health. She is the owner and founder of the Chi to Go project. The company's services focus on soul retrieval as a lifestyle, the importance of detoxification, and the art of self-care. That's Carolyn Jones, available on Amazon. Wonderful book and a great contributor. So those were our contributors, and this was actually the most I've had, because normally I just have one contributor per section, but this was the most that I've had for singing tips. But I thought it was it was great because we got some thumbs up. Yeah, it was really great because we had like several different aspects of appearance. So it was good to have experts that kind of touched on a lot of the different aspects. So I was really pleased about that. But yeah, so those of you who don't know what this is, okay, thank you. I know you're tired.
Oh no. Yeah, I'll hold it. It's okay.
This is pretty better. Is this better, guys? Okay, I'll have to look this way. I'm looking over here. But yeah, so those of you who don't know what this is, my name is Benita Charles, and every week I give singing tips to beginner singers to help them become professional. I've had various sections, as I said earlier, but we had recently, am I upside down, guys? Because I'm looking, for those of you who are looking at me, hi Nabako, how are you? Am I upside down, or can you see me? Maybe I better turn it this way.
Turn it the other way?
This is a weird. Oh yeah, this is better. Okay, that's better. Oh, you said the health information is right on time. Oh, thank you. My aunt was saying nice collaboration today. Yes, I had a lot of great experts, and everyone. It's sideways. Okay, yeah, I just turned it around. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this. I have one of my guest contributors here who helped me with the location. Martha LaPierre, she's holding the camera for me now, so that's a little bit better. Yeah, I was like this. Sorry, guys.
Sideways.
We'll get it right. But yeah, so we had a lot of great contributors to the image section, and as I said before, I didn't realize this too, but you know, your image, when you think of your image, you just think of the way you look, right? But your image is so many different aspects, because your reputation, like how you handle yourself, how you do you show up on time, are you dependable, when someone books you for a job, will you be there, you know, will you be prepared, you know, all of those things has a lot to do with your image. Now, I'll give you a perfect example. One of my favorite singers, Mariah Carey, kind of her image is not that great sometimes, because she's been known to show up 3 hours late, and that's a no-no. I think sometimes, you know, when artists get to a certain level, they get a little comfortable and they just kind of just do whatever. But, you know, these are things that, you know, some of these things are things I know, things that I need to remember. But I think we all, not just artists, but we all, you know, can develop these good habits, you know. Just want to briefly, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if I was going to do it or not, but I wanted to go through briefly the other tips, because
I was gonna say your energy.
Huh?
The energy you bring.
The energy you bring, exactly. Yeah, so like I said, we had like the experts that I shared: Roxie Segal, a stylist, New York stylist extraordinaire; Ed Preacherman Holly, Roxie and Nadine Dylan, they were our stylists. Show Ed Preacherman Holly, he did time management, and Carolyn Jones, hers was self-care for artists. Now for the image section, we had 10 tips on the image section, so just want to briefly go through some of those for you. So for instance, we had one show about your image. We talked about the different aspects of the image, as I mentioned before: appearance, communication, behavior. We talked about your self-image. We talked about effective communication, your behavior, your reputation, and then we broke that down to self-discipline, time management, and then we talked about the ultimate, we talked about self-confidence, and then the final tip, and to me the most important tip, we talked about self-esteem, because your self-esteem affects everything in your life. If you have a low self-esteem, that's going to affect every aspect of your life. So we broke that down, and the most important thing with that is get help. If you need help, you know, some of these tips were great, but sometimes you need someone professional to talk to, and I wanted to encourage people who needed to do that. But the most important thing is your self-esteem, is making sure it's healthy. But yeah, so those were all the tips of the image section. Not just your looks. It's a lot that goes into your image. And I was working on my blog for this the other day. And one of the things I said for this is, if you work on all these aspects of your image that I mentioned, you will be unstoppable. Because there's so much to it. But you know, and we're not perfect, but we just try to do our best, and that's the most important thing. I think if you try to do your best in whatever you're trying to do. This is singing tips. We focus on singers, but a lot of these tips anyone can do, anyone in any field. If you do these tips, you will be successful. Now, if you want to go back and look at any of these tips, it's on Instagram. Go to BCM Sings on Instagram, click on the bio. It takes you to all, I catalog everything. I have a blog. I put all the videos on YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel, Benita Charles. I have a singing tips playlist. All of the videos are there. You can see all the expert videos, and you can see all my videos. But you know, it's important, and as long as we keep trying and striving to do our best, we'll get there. As long as you're in the game, you can make it. Don't give up. You can do this. You can be your best. You can be your best self. And I had one of the experts I had last year, Minister Angela Williams. I loved her show because one of the things I love what she said, and we can all think about, is share your gifts. because you never know what you need to put out there, whatever it is, that song, that speech, if you're a preacher, if you're a chef, if you're a clothing designer, there's someone waiting on whatever it is you want to share. And I thought that was a wonderful lesson to share. And that was one of my experts. So see, I have some great experts here on singing tips. But before I go, I wanted to show a little bit of the park to you. There's a sculpture. Let me see if I can turn this thing around. It's a huge... Okay. It's a big goat's head. This is some of the things here at the Socrates Sculpture Park here in Queens. Isn't that cool? Like, that's amazing. They have a big Apollo sign. It looks like you're at the Apollo Theater. See if I can... This is another sculpture here. I don't know what this is, but it's like... Yeah, I don't know what this sculpture is. Oh, there is a sign. You can read what it is. It's a weird looking thing. But I wanted to show you this Apollo sign. It looks like it's kind of dark here, so you may not be able to see it. But it looks like you're right at the Apollo. It's really cool. Let's see if you guys can see this. Nice view too. My camera's kind of dark. Oh, it looks kind of dark. You won't be able to see it. Maybe I'll post a picture of it. But it's like, it's the Apollo, and it's a nice view. But yeah, so turn the camera around. Thank you guys for joining me today. I'm at Socrates Sculpture Park here in Queens. It's a beautiful day. I hope you enjoyed Singing Tips. I want to appreciate your support of Singing Tips. I'll be back next week for a recap of the show part. I've been in the show part for over a year, and we had 4 sections in the show part. We had your talent, your live performance, your original music, and your image section. So here's another sculpture that's kind of interesting. I'll show you this. Maybe you can see it. It's a goat. Oh, it's weird. Yeah, so they got all kinds of cool stuff here. That's an outhouse, so I'm sure you don't want to see that. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Singing Tips. I will be looking for new locations for Singing Tips. So if you're out there and you have a cool, interesting place in the New York City area that we can go to, we're going to be starting the business section soon. And so we'll be looking for a lot of other places. There's other boroughs besides Manhattan. I know I do everything in Manhattan. I live there, work there, but you know, there's a whole lot of New York. So this is, my guest contributors told me of some other areas in Astoria, so we will be exploring that. Anybody that lives in the Bronx, if you want me to come to the Bronx, let's connect and we can make it happen. Do some Singing Tips out there. Brooklyn is another borough in Manhattan. If any of my friends in Brooklyn, if you know of some good places, let's make it happen. Let's show America and the world what New York has to offer. New York is an awesome place. Love it here. Great people. And I want to thank my contributors today, Paul and Martha LaPierre, for showing me this wonderful park, and we're going to be collaborating on some other parks. So yeah, Singing Tips is, and I have some other stuff planned for Singing Tips. I can't say now. I don't want to jinx myself, but yeah. So we're just moving along, and you know, you guys have been with me for over a year. Oh, I'm sorry, I made it lighter. Hey, maybe I was trying to get the sign, but it was so dark I couldn't get the Apollo sign. But yeah, so you guys have been with me over a year. I've been talking about the show part and the business part. I've been in the show part for over a year, and we are at the end of the show part. I mean, once I closed out the image section, that was done. That was a wrap for the show part. So next week we're going to recap the show part, and we will be in the business part. I've been talking about it for so long, I guess you guys say she's never going to get to that business part. But thanks so much for your support. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you next time on Singing Tips.